cannot emphasize this enough. Always compare to 0 when you're working with inequalities. Rewrite your inequality as needed. Be cognizant of the critical values and their multiplicities. If you have an even multiplicity, there will be no sign change. So let's do B first because I think it'll require less work. We don't have to compare to 0. It's already compared to 0. So solve the inequalities. Numerator, x plus 7 times x minus 3. No shared. There are no shared factors of the numerator and denominator, so no wholes, no removable discontinuities. Critical values are at -7, where my function is equal to 0. Right? Critical value at +3, where my function is equal to 0. And a critical value at 5, where I have a vertical asymptote. Right? And sometimes I'll like to label if the multiplicity is even to make it easier to determine. Right? If x is equal to 0, the numerator is negative, but the denominator is positive. So if x is equal to 0, I'm going to be negative there. Odd multiplicity, change signs. Odd multiplicity, change signs. But at 5, I have an even multiplicity, so the sign's not going to change. So if I want to know when my function is negative, my function is going to be negative between -7 and +3. All right. If you prefer to use inequality notation, that is perfectly okay. All right. But please make sure that your answer is clear. All right. So if we want to solve the inequality over here, we need to rewrite, we need to compare to 0. So I have 3 over x plus 7 plus 4 over x plus 8 needs to be less than or equal to 0. If I get a common denominator, that's going to be 3 times x plus 8 plus 4 times x, oops, I put the plus in the wrong spot. So plus 4 times x plus 7 all over x plus 7 times x plus 8. And that needs to be less than or equal to 0. All right, I'm going to do a little side math. That's going to give me 3x plus 24 and 4x plus 28. If I add those together, I've got 7x plus 52 in the numerator. Okay, and then if I do a sign analysis, I have a 0 at -8, and I have a 0 at -7, excuse me, not a 0. I have a critical value that are vertical asymptotes. Then 7x plus 52 would mean that x is going to be -52 divided by 7. And -52 divided by 7 would fall between -7 and -8. So all of these have odd multiplicities. If x was equal to 0, I'd have a positive divided by positive, which would mean positive to the right of -7, then negative, then positive, then negative. So if my solution is going to be when my inequality is going to be less than or equal to 0, I want the negative portions. I cannot include the vertical asymptotes. So I could say from -infinity to -8, or from -52 over 7 to -7. and there would be my solution. Okay. So always, always, always compare to 0 when you're working with inequalities. Make sure you ask questions. Make yourself additional practice problems using resources and tools at your disposal, such as Perplexity AI. Thank you for your time.